Hey there folks, and welcome back for another video. I'm your host CDB or Chris, and I'm so glad you could be here with me today on this fine Tuesday morning. And today we're putting the tea back in traditional shaving. We're foregoing luxury and we're going to do things old school. We're going to use this Red Imp 133, which was completely trashed. I'll show you the picture there again where that blade was dished and I had to bring it back. I worked on this a little last evening, and so we'll see if the edge is any better. And we're going to use Williams Mug Soap, and that sends that sends bad vibes through all of shaving except for fuzzy when I use Williams. And what inspired me to do this video, and I'm going to wet my face here. No misting today, no luxury, we're just using old-fashioned sort of stuff and putting the tea back in traditional shaving. What sort of inspired me to do this was I was watching Jack from the virtual groom room. Here's a Williams cake. We're just going to put it on like a shave stick. And by the way, like my grandfather would have did it. He used to have a mug like this and plopped it in there. But I'm just going to put it on like a shave stick. That's still plenty traditional. And we are not going to try to create a great lather. It's going to be sort of similar to what I've seen my grandfather and others do in the past. Now, granted, he was just using a safety razor, not a straight, but it doesn't matter. The point of doing this, like I said, was I was watching Jack, and he doesn't like alcohol. He doesn't like menthol. And then in the other day's video, there was something else he didn't like. And I don't remember now what it was, but I kind of chuckled at it because there were three very traditional things that he doesn't like. And that said, I have things that I don't like too. Like, for example, this natural hair brush. I'm going to use this boar brush. I'm not crazy about natural hair. And you can still shave in a traditional way using modern gear. So there's absolutely nothing wrong with using modern gear. But today, you know, we're just doing it more traditional. We're putting the tea back in traditional. And I'm just going to make a lather that is serviceable enough to shave with. And we're not going to fawn We're not going to fawn over lather all day and night. We're just going to slap some of this Williams on. It's going to be very thin. And we're going to shave with it. And the point of this is to say, look, folks, people have been doing this for a long time. All right, shaving. Don't overthink it. It's not that important. It's not that big of a deal. You don't have to go nuts with the lather. If you enjoy it, it's okay, but you don't have to. So if you're struggling with lathering, today's shave is for you, because I'm using a blade that I honed myself and I'm brand new. I'm using a natural hair brush, which I almost never use, and I'm using a soap that most people don't like. And I believe we're going to get a doggone good shave in spite of all those things. I hope I'm right. All right. By the way, we're working on about 24 hours growth, normal growth. Edge is feeling okay. Not bad, I would say. Considering, again, this blade was completely and utterly trashed. Is it fantastic? No, it's not fantastic, but it's working. And again, I just wanted to do this because, you know, it just came to mind. Let's just go old school, you know? You don't always have to have the best of everything. And we can go full-on traditional. Once in a while, we can still get a doggone good shave with products that don't cost a lot. This wasn't very expensive because, like I said, it was completely, the blade was trashed. I had to take off a lot of metal to even get it functional. And as you can see, it's shaving. Not my smoothest blade, not my smoothest blade or the smoothest blade in my kit, but it's shaving, and that's what we're here to do, shave. You know? And sometimes it's nice just to get back to basic old school stuff. And for those who say Williams stinks and you can't get a good shave with it, I disagree. You can get a good shave with it. Is it fun to use for some people? No. But I promise you, you can get a good shave with it. And you don't have to make a YouTube lather to get a good shave with it. All this stuff, honestly, you know, we geek out. And sometimes we geek out to the point where it's unreasonable and we poo-poo things that work just fine and have worked for, how long has this been around? 1840. So if it's been around that long, chances are it works. And I'm sure that many people have used this over the years. Are there better things out there that feel better for your skin and are more fun to use? You betcha. But does this work? Does this get you where you need to be on your shave? Yes, it does. And we're demonstrating this today. One thing I want to mention while I'm lathering here, and again, I'm deliberately making the very poor lather just to demonstrate this fawning over everything isn't, look how thin that is. All right, it's gonna work just fine. Anyway, I want to mention serious moments. Stephen Davidson, many of you know him from his YouTube channel, lost his father the other day. So if you're inclined, please say a prayer, send well wishes. Steve, if you're watching this, I'm very sorry for your loss, and we'll definitely be sending you my thoughts and prayers. All right. So we're just going to continue pressing on. And as you can see here, the Williams is working just fine. Even with a blade that I honed myself, and I am brand new. This is the first blade I've ever honed. You know? Put that in perspective, or try to keep things in perspective, folks. That's what I'm here to do today. It's just make you think a little bit and go, okay. How much of this is absolutely necessary? One thing I do need is some moisture on my face because I don't have enough moisture there. So let's rehydrate just a little bit. That's the one thing you can't afford, is for it to dry out on you. But I promise you, just being thin, no problem. No problem. The thin part, I'm not concerned with. If it dries out, I'm concerned with that. There we go. This edge is feeling a little slightly better than yesterday. But as you can see there, we're not having any difficulty. Is it as fun as taking your time and really enjoying it? No. But the point is just to point out that sometimes you don't have to get carried away. And that some of this old stuff, even if you don't dial it in, will get a shave done for you in the old traditional way. Whereas people didn't, go nuts over every little detail of every little thing. No, I like doing that. I'm not poo-pooing it. Again, don't misunderstand the point. Point here is just to say that whenever you see these gigantic lathers and you go, oh, I can't do that, so I can't traditional shave. That's not true. Really, if you have some slickness and moisture, look at this right here. So this is going to be, by every standard, considered to be a bad lather, right? Super thin, got a little bit of water in it, right? Nobody would be proud of this lather at any level. You can shave on it because it is slick. And that's really my point. It's just to illustrate that, you know, sometimes we get caught up in the shave geekery of things, and I think sometimes lead people to believe that only one sort of thing will work. And if you don't have that one sort of thing, or if you don't achieve a certain type of lather, you might as well forget it, that this isn't for you. And I'm here to tell you that is not true. That you can make what others would consider a crappy lather, and it'll work. I need to rehydrate the neck here. Look at that. That's awful. I mean, you can almost see nothing there. But it's slick enough, I promise you. So, folks, worry less about what you see on video and worry more about what you see happening on your face. Like in terms of, is the razor gliding okay? You know, if it's not, work on it. But if it's just a certain look that has you bothered, don't worry about it. If you're new, especially because I'm telling you right now, I am a novice honer. I'm, first hone. And this will get the job done. Is it pretty? No. It'll get the job done though. Let's see. Let's do a little bit of work right here. And then we'll call this a shave. And we haven't taken all day to do it. And we haven't spent all day. Well, I think, look how terrible that is. People are going to watch this video and go, he's nuts. It works though. That's really my point. It'll work. If I could stretch, it would be better, but I'm not using a cloth because that wouldn't be particularly traditional. Okay. How do we do? I think we did okay. And that was the worst lather that you could ever see. And I'm doing this to make a point, is that don't get caught up in the tomfoolery, if you're new. Just gonna get this one little spot here. Don't be intimidated. Our grandparents probably didn't worry too much about how the lather looked. At least I know mine didn't. Because I remember watching him shave. And he had a mug like this with a little puck of probably Williams or something to the like. And he used the safety razor. And, today the result, it's a very nice shave. Was it the most enjoyable shave? No, but it works. And that's really my point. Let me rinse. We'll get back and do the post. Stay tuned. And all right, so no Lancaster tail today because we're foregoing luxury. We're not going with any witch hazel. Just regular old school skin bracer. And I don't remember when the skin bracer came out, but at least, I know it's at least as old as the 60s, maybe older. I don't really recall, to tell you the truth. Does it say on here? No, I don't think so. But it's got a pleasant smell. Alcohol in it. I just remember what Jack also doesn't like, alum. So he doesn't like alum, menthol, and now I forgot the other one. But anyway, I just chuckled at it a little bit because I also don't like natural hair brushes. So, you could still use modern gear and shave in a traditional way. But today, this was a deliberately poor lather, right? With someone who's relatively inexperienced with straights. This is my 36th straight razor shave with a blade that I honed for the first time ever. And I've gotten a shave with no nicks, cuts, creepers, weepers, irritation. No bubbles, no troubles. You don't have to go nuts. Be mindful of what you're doing. If something's wrong, change it on the fly. You don't have to have the best of everything. You don't have to spend a ton of dough, all right? This is not rocket science. This is shaving. People have been doing it forever. You could do it with a sharp rock. So the point of this video is just to say, slow down sometimes. Go back, embrace tradition. And it's okay to use stuff that's old or maybe you don't feel the best quality. It'll make you appreciate the things that you really love. Like this Williams, been around since 1840. Our result is good. And I rest my case. I want to thank each and every one of you for joining me as always. And I want to remind you, it's your shave, do it your way, even if it's not particularly traditional. And if you only love the great stuff, it's still your shave, do it however you want. Thank you for watching and God bless.